What if I told you the silence you're facing right now isn't a punishment, but a crucible? A place where the heat of heartbreak, doubt and longing isn't meant to destroy you, but to forge something unbreakable. This isn't just about surviving the no-contact phase. It's about using it as a launchpad to reclaim your power, your purpose, and your peace. In the depths of despair, it's tempting to see silence as the void left behind by someone else. But what if this void isn't empty at all? What if it's a canvas, waiting for you to create the masterpiece of your own resilience? The truth is, the silence that feels so suffocating right now is the echo of your own strength, waiting for you to recognize it. And here's the kicker. The longer you wait for someone else to validate your worth, the longer you delay stepping into the version of yourself who is whole, confident, and untouchable. What stands in the way becomes the way, said Marcus Aurelius. This simple yet profound Stoic truth is the heartbeat of what we're about to explore together. Pain is not the end of your journey. It's the fire that will transform you. This phase, as dark and heavy as it feels, is not a period. It's a semicolon, an opportunity to rewrite your story. You're not here to wallow in loss or to yearn for someone who doesn't see your worth. You're here to discover the alchemy of turning heartbreak into healing, longing into purpose, and silence into strength. Pain, as unbearable as it feels, is one of life's most honest teachers. Think of it like the refining process of gold. Raw ore is exposed to extreme heat, not to destroy it, but to burn away impurities, revealing the precious metal hidden within. Your pain right now is that fire. The longing you feel for their text, the ache when you scroll through old memories. It's not here to weaken you, it's here to refine you. When you're in no contact, the silence isn't just about their absence, it's about your presence. It's a mirror held up to your soul, asking you to look deep within and ask the hard questions. Who am I without them? What do I stand for? What am I capable of when I stop chasing validation? Epictetus put it perfectly. Difficulties show a person what they are. The pain you're feeling now is an invitation to show yourself what you're made of. It's a chance to build emotional muscles you didn't even know you had, to grow stronger in ways you never thought possible. But it requires you to lean into the discomfort, to see it not as an enemy, but as an ally in your transformation. Dark Stoic Psychology invites you to embrace the harder truths of life, not as a source of despair, but as a foundation for strength. It's about recognizing that the external world, whether it's the actions of others or the pain they've caused, is not within your control. The only thing within your power is how you respond. And in the silence of no contact, your response is everything. Imagine yourself as a ship caught in a storm. The waves are relentless, the wind is deafening, and you can't see the shore. Dark Stoicism is your anchor, reminding you that no matter how wild the storm, you can hold steady. The storm doesn't define you. Your ability to endure and navigate through it does. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Every moment you spend obsessing over their actions, over the what-ifs and maybes, is a moment stolen from your growth, your peace, and your potential." The silence of no contact isn't just a test of patience, it's a call to action, a chance to redirect your focus from them to you. Think of yourself as a seed buried in the soil. To the outside world, it looks like you've been cast aside, left in darkness. But beneath the surface, something extraordinary is happening. The soil, heavy and suffocating, is actually nurturing you. The darkness isn't your enemy. It's the environment where your roots grow deep, anchoring you for the growth that's about to come. This no-contact phase is your soil. The pressure you feel isn't here to crush you, it's here to prepare you. Or imagine yourself as a sword being forged. The blacksmith's fire isn't gentle, it's intense, unyielding. The hammer strikes aren't random, they're deliberate, shaping you into something sharp, strong, and purposeful. Without the fire and the hammer, the sword would remain a lump of metal. Without this pain, you would remain where you were, reliant on someone else for your sense of self. The most transformative truth of this journey is this: no one is coming to save you. The closure you're waiting for, the validation you're hoping they'll provide, it doesn't exist outside of you. You're the one you've been waiting for. When you resist the urge to reach out, you're not just withholding communication, you're reclaiming energy you once gave away so freely. Every second of silence is a declaration that your peace matters more than their attention. Every moment you choose yourself is a victory, a step toward becoming someone who doesn't need to chase validation because they've built it within. The Stoics remind us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This phase of no contact is your proving ground. It's where you demonstrate to yourself that your worth isn't tied to someone else's recognition. As you move through this process, remember that every pang of pain is an opportunity for growth. Every urge to break no contact is a signal, a chance to ask yourself, am I honoring my worth right now? The answers you seek aren't in their responses or their silence, they're in how you choose to show up for yourself. Affirmations are not just words, they're the seeds of transformation, helping you reclaim your strength and rewrite your story. Speak them, believe them, and watch your inner power grow. I rise from pain as a force of strength and power. Write this affirmation in the comments to declare your commitment to growth and resilience. Let it be a reminder of the incredible journey you're on. If this message has touched you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support fuels our passion to create meaningful, empowering content just for you. Let's keep growing stronger together. Number 1. Turn your pain into fuel. What if the very pain you're feeling right now, the ache, the heaviness, the longing, isn't here to break you, but to propel you forward? Imagine for a moment that pain is like fire. Left uncontrolled, it can consume everything in its path, reducing even the strongest structures to ashes. But when harnessed with intention, that same fire can forge steel, light the way forward, and warm the soul. Pain is not your enemy, it's your energy, waiting to be redirected. The question is, will you let it consume you, or will you transform it into fuel for growth? Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The very thing that feels like an obstacle, this pain of separation, this silence, is the raw material you can use to build a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. Pain doesn't just teach, it transforms, but only if you allow it to. Think of yourself as a phoenix, a mythical bird that rises from its ashes. The fire that seemed to destroy it was, in fact, the catalyst for its rebirth. Your pain may feel like those consuming flames now, but deep within, there is a spark of renewal. Each time you resist the urge to reach out, each moment you sit with your discomfort instead of running from it, you're adding fuel to that spark. And slowly, you're building the fire of transformation that will help you rise, not as you were, but as someone stronger, wiser, and more grounded. Pain can be incredibly disorienting. It makes you question your choices, your worth, even your identity. But here's the thing, pain is also honest. It reveals what needs to be healed, what's missing, and where your focus needs to shift. Rather than fighting it, lean into it. Ask yourself, what is this pain trying to teach me? What can I create with this energy? If you're willing to listen, pain can guide you to parts of yourself that you've ignored for too long. It can show you the cracks in your foundation and, just like an architect, give you the chance to rebuild, stronger than ever. Imagine an athlete training for the Olympics. The grueling workouts, the sweat, the aching muscles. It's all pain. But that pain is not a punishment. It's preparation. Every drop of sweat, every strained muscle is a deposit into their future success. They don't run from the discomfort. They embrace it because they know it's part of their journey to greatness. In the same way, the pain of no contact isn't here to punish you. It's here to prepare you. Each pang of longing is an opportunity to redirect your energy toward your own growth. Pain, when transformed, becomes power. The Stoics believed that true strength lies in how we respond to life's challenges. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is your moment to take control, to refuse to let pain define you. Instead, let it refine you. When you feel the ache, instead of spiraling into thoughts of what if or why me, channel that energy into something constructive. Dive into your passions, explore new hobbies, or set ambitious goals. Let the pain be the driving force that pushes you to create a life so fulfilling that it no longer revolves around someone else's validation. Think of a sculptor with a block of marble. To the untrained eye, it's just a heavy, solid mass. But to the sculptor, it's potential. With every strike of the chisel, they reveal a masterpiece hidden within. Your pain is the marble, and you are the sculptor. It feels heavy now, but with every conscious choice you make, to focus on your growth, to resist reaching out, to invest in yourself, you're chipping away at what no longer serves you. What's left is the version of you that's been waiting to emerge all along. This transformation isn't easy, and that's what makes it so powerful. Every time you choose to channel your pain into action, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of enduring, growing, and thriving. You're not just surviving this no-contact phase. You're using it as a catalyst for the kind of growth that makes you unshakable. The energy you once directed toward them can now be poured into building the life you deserve. A life filled with purpose, peace, and strength. Remember, this isn't about denying your pain. It's about harnessing it. The more you embrace it as a tool for transformation, the less power it has to hold you back. You're not running from the fire. You're stepping into it, knowing it will burn away what no longer serves you and leave you stronger than before. I use my pain to ignite my power and fuel my growth. Write this affirmation in the comments to declare your commitment to transformation. Let it remind you that every ounce of pain can be turned into a force for good in your life. If this lesson has resonated with you, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue creating life-changing content to guide you through your journey. Together, we rise. Number 2, create a future you vision. What if the pain you're feeling right now isn't a dead end, but a doorway? A gateway to a version of yourself so powerful, so grounded, that the trials of today become the fuel for tomorrow's triumphs. Imagine stepping through the doorway and meeting the future you, the one who has turned heartbreak into a masterpiece, pain into strength, and silence into clarity. The journey to this version of yourself doesn't start somewhere far away. It starts here, now, in the choices you make today. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, wrote Marcus Aurelius. This profound Stoic truth is a reminder that the person you will become is shaped by the thoughts and actions you choose now. The future you isn't someone distant. They're a reflection of the seeds you plant in this very moment. The no-contact phase might feel like a void, but it's actually fertile soil where the roots of your growth are taking hold. The question is, what will you plant? Will you sow seeds of resilience, purpose, and self-worth? Or will you let the weeds of doubt and longing overrun your garden? Picture yourself as a potter with a lump of clay. Right now that clay is your pain, your confusion, and your doubts. But within that clay lies the potential for something extraordinary, a work of art crafted by your own hands. Each choice you make, to resist the urge to reach out, to focus on your growth, to honor your boundaries, is like a deliberate touch shaping the clay. Michelangelo said, "Every block of stone has a statue inside it, and it is the task of the sculptor to discover it." Your future you is already within you, waiting to be revealed by the actions you take today. Now think of this. Your life is like a ship sailing through turbulent waters. The storms of heartbreak and silence might make it feel like you're adrift, but the future you is your lighthouse, a beacon guiding you toward clarity and purpose. When the waves of doubt threaten to pull you off course, anchor yourself in the vision of who you want to become. This isn't just about getting through the no-contact phase. It's about using it as the wind that propels you forward. Creating a future you vision means looking beyond the pain of the present and asking yourself, what kind of person do I want to be a year from now? Picture that version of yourself with vivid detail. How do they carry themselves? What habits have they cultivated? What does their inner peace feel like? This vision becomes your compass, guiding you through the uncertainty of today toward the certainty of your potential. Let's explore another metaphor. Your life is a blank canvas, and this period of no contact is your palette. The colors of longing, pain, and resilience are at your disposal. What kind of picture will you paint? Will it be one of waiting for someone else to define your worth, or will it be a masterpiece of self-reliance and inner strength? Every decision you make is a brushstroke, shaping the image of your future you. Even the boldest works of art are made one stroke at a time, just as your transformation will happen through deliberate, consistent actions. As you embark on this journey, remember the wisdom of Seneca. No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. This phase of no contact is your chance to prove yourself to yourself. It's an opportunity to break free from the chains of seeking external validation and step into a version of yourself who stands tall, grounded in their own worth. Envision this process as planting a tree. Right now, you're nurturing the roots, hidden from view but essential for growth. The future you is the tree that will one day stand tall, unshaken by the winds of life. But trees don't grow overnight. They require patience, care, and the courage to keep going, even when the progress isn't immediately visible. Each act of self-care, each boundary you uphold, and each moment you spend focusing on your own growth is like watering the roots. Over time, those roots will support a strong, unshakable trunk that reaches toward the sky. When doubt whispers that this journey is too hard, remind yourself that the most extraordinary transformations often begin in the darkest moments. Diamonds are formed under pressure, and so are you. The future you isn't just someone who survived the storm. They're someone who used it to become stronger, brighter, and more resilient than ever. So take a moment to close your eyes and see that future version of yourself clearly. Feel their confidence, their peace, and their strength. Know that every step you take today, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to them. The choices you make now are not just for survival, they're for creation, for becoming the person you were always meant to be. Here's your affirmation. I am shaping my future self with every choice I make. Write this in the comments as a declaration of your commitment to growth and transformation. Let it remind you that the pain of today is the foundation for the strength of tomorrow. If this message resonates with you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support fuels our mission to create meaningful, life-changing lessons for you. Together, we're not just surviving, we're transforming. Let's walk this path to strength and self-discovery, step by step, side by side. Number 3, anchor yourself with daily rituals. What if I told you that the chaos of your emotions, the storm of thoughts in this no-contact phase, could be calmed, not by someone else's actions, but by your own? Imagine standing in the middle of a whirlwind, yet feeling completely grounded, like a deeply rooted tree that bends but does not break. That is the power of daily rituals. They aren't just habits, they're lifelines that tether you to strength and purpose, even when the world around you feels uncertain. Right now, you might feel like a ship caught in rough seas, with waves of doubt and longing crashing over you. But even the most battered ship can find stability when it drops anchor. Daily rituals are your anchor. They keep you steady, offering small but powerful moments of control in a time when so much feels out of your hands. As Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your rituals are where that power begins. Picture this. Each ritual you create is like lighting a candle in a dark room. At first, the space still feels shadowy and unfamiliar, but with each flame you light, the room begins to glow. Soon, it's not the darkness that defines the room, but the light you've cultivated. Whether it's a morning walk, writing down your thoughts, or repeating affirmations, these small acts are your candles, illuminating the path forward and reminding you that you are not defined by your pain. You are transformed by your actions. Let's think of rituals in another way, as bricks in the foundation of your inner fortress. Right now, it may feel like your walls have crumbled, leaving you exposed to the elements of heartache and uncertainty. But every day you stick to a ritual, no matter how small, you're laying a brick. Today, it might be journaling 3 things you're grateful for. Tomorrow, it might be sipping tea in silence for 10 minutes. Each brick adds to your fortress, building a structure so strong that no external storm can shake it. With time, you'll look back and realize that what once felt fragile has become unbreakable. Daily rituals aren't just routines, they're declarations. They say, I am worth this moment of care and consistency. When you show up for yourself in these small ways, you send a message to your mind and heart. You are choosing healing over hurt, progress over pain. Rituals remind you that even in the absence of someone else's validation, you can create a life rich with meaning and grounded in your own strength. Consider the transformation of water into ice. Water, in its natural state, flows freely without structure. But when subjected to the steady consistency of cold, it crystallizes, becoming something solid and unyielding. Your pain right now may feel fluid, unpredictable and overwhelming, but daily rituals act like the cold, applying consistent pressure that shapes you into something strong and resolute. With each day that you honor your rituals, you're solidifying your inner strength, transforming yourself into someone who is unshakable. Think of how nature thrives through rhythm and routine. The sun rises and sets at predictable times, the tides move with the pull of the moon, and the seasons change in cycles. These rituals of nature create balance and beauty, even in the harshest climates. You too can thrive when you align your life with daily rituals that bring balance to your inner world. These aren't just tasks, they're acts of self-preservation, a way to reclaim your sense of control and purpose during a time when it feels like you've lost both. Even in moments when doubt or resistance creeps in, remember this: rituals are not about perfection, they're about persistence. Missing one day doesn't undo the progress you've made. It's like tending a garden. Missing one watering doesn't ruin the entire harvest. What matters is that you come back, that you keep nurturing the seeds of your growth. As Seneca said, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Each day you return to your rituals. You're beginning again, building strength from within. As you anchor yourself with these rituals, you'll start to notice something remarkable. The silence that once felt heavy will become peaceful. The longing that once consumed you will turn into clarity. The strength you've been searching for isn't somewhere out there. It's within you, waiting to be uncovered through these daily acts of care and consistency. So, take this moment to commit to yourself. Start with one ritual that aligns with the person you're becoming. Let it be your anchor, your daily declaration of strength. Over time, these rituals will weave into your life like threads in a tapestry, creating a picture of resilience, self-worth, and unshakable peace. Here's an affirmation to guide you. I anchor myself with daily rituals that build my strength. Write this in the comments to declare your commitment to showing up for yourself every day. If this message has helped you, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We pour our hearts into creating content that inspires and empowers you, and your support means the world to us. Together, let's keep growing stronger, one ritual at a time. Number 4, reframe the silence as space. Have you ever noticed how some of the most profound creations begin in silence? A symphony starts with an empty sheet of music. A masterpiece painting begins with a blank canvas. Even the universe itself emerged from a vast, silent void. Right now, in this no-contact phase, the silence you feel is not a punishment or an emptiness. It's the space where your transformation begins. Silence has a way of amplifying everything inside us. It echoes with our doubts, our fears, and our longing. But it also holds something far more powerful: potential. The potential to grow, to heal, and to reclaim the parts of yourself you may have lost. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This silence is not an enemy, it's a gift, offering you the space to react in a way that elevates your life. Imagine a garden in winter. On the surface, it looks barren, lifeless, and still. But beneath the soil, a quiet revolution is taking place. Roots are stretching deeper, gathering strength. Seeds are preparing for the burst of spring. The silence of no contact is your winter, a time when the growth you can't see yet is quietly taking shape. The space left behind is fertile ground, not for their return, but for your renewal. What will you plant in this space? Reframing silence as space is about shifting your perspective. Instead of focusing on what's missing, focus on what's possible. Think of an artist standing before a blank canvas. To some, it might feel intimidating or overwhelming, but to the artist, it's exhilarating. The silence of no contact is your blank canvas. Every decision you make, every boundary you set, Every new habit you form is a brushstroke creating the masterpiece of your future self. In the quiet of this space, you have the chance to hear your own voice, something that might have been drowned out by the noise of the past. What is it telling you? What dreams, passions, and goals have been waiting for your attention? The Stoics remind us, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." This is your moment to be fully present with yourself, to dive into your own depths and uncover the treasures that lie within. Consider this metaphor. Silence is like the space between musical notes. Without those spaces, music would be nothing but noise. The silence of no contact is the space that allows the melody of your life to take shape. It's where you can pause, breathe, and recalibrate. Instead of filling it with anxious thoughts or longing, fill it with purpose. Let it become the rhythm that carries you forward. It's tempting to see silence as rejection, as a void where their voice should be. But what if you saw it as a clearing instead? Imagine standing in a forest where every tree represents a thought, a worry, or a memory of the past. The silence of no contact is like a wide-open clearing in that forest, a space where you can finally step out from the shadows and feel the sun on your face. Use this clearing to decide where you want to go next. This isn't about waiting, it's about creating. Each moment you spend focusing on yourself instead of them is a moment of growth. Each choice you make to honor your worth rather than chasing validation is a step toward reclaiming your power. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength, said Marcus Aurelius. The silence isn't here to defeat you, it's here to strengthen you. As you move through this space, remember that transformation doesn't happen in noise, it happens in stillness. A caterpillar doesn't transform into a butterfly while rushing around. It happens in the quiet, hidden within its chrysalis. You too are in a chrysalis of your own making, preparing to emerge stronger, wiser, and more radiant than ever. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself that the silence is not your enemy. It's your sanctuary. It's the space where you get to decide who you want to become. It's where you take the fragments of pain and shape them into a mosaic of resilience and power. This isn't the end of your story. It's the chapter where you reclaim the pen and start writing on your own terms. Here's an affirmation to guide you. I embrace the silence as the space where I grow and reclaim my power. Write this affirmation in the comments as a declaration of your strength and resilience. Let it remind you that the silence is not a void, it's the foundation of your transformation. If this message resonates with you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We pour our hearts into creating content that empowers and uplifts, and your support fuels our mission to bring you life-changing lessons. Let's keep growing stronger, together. Number 5. Practice the power of one more. What if the difference between who you are now and who you're striving to become is just one more decision, one more moment of courage, one more step forward? In the throes of no contact, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the silence, the longing, and the pull to reach out. But what if, instead of giving in, you leaned into the power of one more? This isn't about giant leaps. It's about incremental acts of resilience that, when stacked together, transform your pain into an unshakable source of power. Courage is not having the strength to go on. It is going on when you don't have the strength, said Theodore Roosevelt. The power of one more isn't about perfection or instant healing. It's about persistence. It's the decision to stay strong for just one more day, one more hour, or even one more minute when the temptation to break no contact feels unbearable. With every one more you choose, you're building a muscle of resilience, proving to yourself that you can endure, adapt, and ultimately thrive. Picture a mountain climber scaling a peak shrouded in mist. They can't see the summit, only the next step. With every step, their legs ache, their lungs burn, and doubt whispers, "Turn back." But instead of giving in, they focus on just one more foothold. The summit feels impossibly far, but eventually their persistence breaks through the clouds, revealing a breathtaking view. The climb wasn't about seeing the top from the start. It was about trusting that one more step would get them closer. That's the power you hold in this moment. The ability to take one more step, even when you can't yet see the horizon. Think of this practice as watering a seed planted in dry soil. At first, it feels futile. The ground seems unyielding, the seed invisible. But with each drop of water, one more time, one more day, the seed begins to sprout. The growth is invisible at first, but it's happening beneath the surface. By choosing one more moment of resilience, you're nurturing the roots of a stronger, more self-assured version of yourself. You may not see the results right away, but every act of persistence is contributing to a transformation that will soon break through the surface. Dark Stoic Psychology reminds us that transformation happens in the crucible of discomfort. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The very struggle you're facing, the silence, the longing, the ache, is the path forward. When you choose one more, you're not just enduring, you're advancing. Every moment you resist the urge to break no contact is an act of defiance against the pain, a declaration that you are stronger than the forces pulling you backward. Imagine a candle flickering in the darkness. The flame is small, vulnerable to gusts of wind, but it persists. With every moment it continues to burn, it grows stronger, casting light into the shadows. That flame is you. The decision to practice one more is like shielding that flame, giving it the chance to grow into a fire that warms and illuminates your world. Each small act of persistence feeds your inner fire, transforming you from a flicker into a force. The beauty of the one more mindset is that it doesn't demand perfection. It's not about never feeling tempted or never experiencing pain. It's about not letting those feelings define you. When the urge to reach out feels overwhelming, remind yourself that you don't need to resist forever. You only need to resist for one more moment. When the pain feels unbearable, remember that you only need to carry it for one more breath. Over time, those moments add up to a strength you never knew you had. Your transformation is already underway. With every one more you choose, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of enduring and thriving. This journey isn't about waiting for someone else to recognize your worth. It's about realizing it for yourself, one decision at a time. Here's your affirmation. I choose one more step, one more moment, one more act of strength. Write this in the comments as a commitment to your journey. Let it be a reminder that every small choice you make is part of a larger transformation. If this message has resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support inspires us to keep creating these life-changing lessons. Together, we're not just enduring, we're rising. Let's keep growing, one step at a time. Number 6. Write a letter. You'll never send. What if the very words you're holding back are the ones that could set you free? When the silence of no contact feels unbearable and your emotions are a storm threatening to overwhelm you, there's an outlet waiting for you, one that doesn't require breaking your resolve. Writing a letter you'll never send can be the key to unlocking your pain, transforming it into clarity, and reclaiming your power. It's not about them, it's about you finding release without surrendering your strength. You don't write because you want to say something, you write because you have something to say, said F. Scott Fitzgerald. This letter isn't for their eyes, it's for your heart. It's a chance to pour out every unspoken word, every lingering emotion, and every question that keeps you awake at night. When you put your thoughts on paper, you're not just releasing them, you're taking control. You're no longer a prisoner to the whirlwind of emotions in your mind. Instead, you're transforming those feelings into something tangible, something you can see, understand, and ultimately let go. Think of your emotions as a heavy backpack you've been carrying for far too long. Writing this letter is like unpacking that weight, one item at a time. With each sentence, you're pulling out a piece of pain, a moment of regret, or an unresolved thought. By the time you finish, the backpack feels lighter, and you realize that you no longer need to carry it everywhere you go. Or imagine a dam holding back a rushing river. The pressure builds and builds until it feels like it might burst. Writing the letter is like opening a release valve, letting the water flow in a controlled, intentional way. It doesn't just ease the pressure, it prevents a flood that could have overwhelmed you. This isn't weakness, it's strategy. You're not letting your emotions dictate your actions, you're channeling them in a way that serves your growth. As you write, you may notice a shift. What begins as pain turns into understanding. What starts as longing becomes closure. The act of writing forces you to confront your feelings and see them for what they truly are: temporary. We suffer more in imagination than in reality, wrote Seneca. By the end of the letter, you'll find that the storm has passed, and you're left with the calm of knowing you've honored your emotions without giving them the power to control you. This is your chance to reclaim the narrative. Write without fear, without judgment, and without restraint. Let the letter be a mirror, reflecting your strength and resilience back to you. When you're done, you don't need to send it. You don't need their response. The act of writing is enough. It's a declaration that your healing doesn't depend on anyone else. It's something you create within yourself. Remember this: you are stronger than your pain, and your emotions are yours to transform. Write this affirmation in the comments: I release my pain and reclaim my power. Let it be your declaration of strength and clarity. If this message resonates with you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us create life-changing content like this and reach others who need these empowering lessons. Together, we rise stronger. Number 7. Collect evidence of your progress. Imagine this: you're climbing a steep mountain trail, and every few steps, you turn around to see how far you've come. The summit feels distant, almost unreachable, but each glance back reveals the ground you've already covered, the proof of your resilience. In the no-contact phase, this is exactly what you need: tangible evidence of your progress. Without it, the journey feels endless, but with it, you see that every step matters and every moment of strength builds upon the last. Seneca once said, "Success is not in never falling, but in rising every time you fall." Collecting evidence of your growth allows you to see those moments of rising clearly. Each time you resist the urge to reach out, each time you redirect your energy towards self-growth, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of transformation. These victories may feel small in the moment, but they're the stepping stones to becoming a stronger, more self-assured version of you. Think of your progress like planting a garden. At first, the effort feels endless: tilling the soil, planting seeds, watering daily. You see little change and wonder if it's worth it. But then, one day, a green shoot breaks through the soil. That small sign of life is your evidence, your reminder that growth is happening even when it feels invisible. Keeping a journal, a tracker, or even a list of wins, no matter how minor they seem, allows you to see those shoots of progress. Over time, you'll look back and realize how much your garden has flourished. Your evidence is your shield against doubt. When the silence feels heavy or the longing creeps in, revisit your record of progress. Remind yourself of the moments you chose your peace over fleeting validation. This is where Dark Stoic Psychology shines, turning your focus inward to recognize your ability to endure, adapt, and thrive. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. The power to track and celebrate your growth lies entirely within you. Each step forward is a testament to your strength. Trust in your ability to move through this process and celebrate every piece of evidence you gather. Affirm this truth. My progress